Welcome back to Smoke Signals. I'm Matt Montgomery along with head football coach Chris Tabor. The Fighting Indians are at home Friday night against the John Tyler Lions, ranked number 10th in the state. It's the last home football game, and it's senior night, Coach, and a special night for seniors to come in and their parents and family to celebrate, and not just football players, but the band, the charmers, the cheerleaders, everybody that's a senior gets to celebrate on Tomato Bowl this Friday night.
Yeah, it's a unique evening. You know, it's what these kids, it kind of shows what they've done for their 4 years in high school, and kind of a closure, you know, the last door being closed, the last night being the Tomato Bowl, playing a football game or playing in the band or cheerleading, whatever. So it's a big night for them and their parents, and you know, the kids look forward to it.
Of course, John Tyler coming in, Coach, they've pretty much clinched a district, a playoff spot out of District 16 5A, and I guess the thing that's on everybody's mind right now is Carter McCowan. He won't be back, and he's injured, and he's out for the year.
Yeah, he's out for the year. Braylon's out for the year. Our center's questionable. So we got a couple of key kids that won't be performing Friday night, but you know, it's like we talked about in practice all week. I mean, we got to get ready to go, and you know, last year we played them the closest that Jacksonville's ever played them, and you know, I expect the same kind of effort on Friday night.
An opportunity for underclassmen to step up and play. Of course, you've been playing a lot this year with underclassmen. I know you've already said that, you know, once you play a couple of football games, you are no longer an underclassman. But still, some young men that may not have had the opportunity to play certain positions, hey, they got to step up Friday night.
Yeah, and that's the deal, and that's what we've talked about, you know, this week in practices. You know, we're very young. I mean, we got 10 returning starters coming back on defense for next year and 6 on offense, and those guys got to continue to get better, you know, and that's our goal every day at practice, every Friday night. We're trying to get better than we were the week before, the day before. So there's still goals out there, and there's still things that we've got to do well, and we still want to compete to win, and you know, and try to get a winning record this year.
Of all the teams that you played last year, John Tyler was the team that you played the best. Mm-hmm. And boy, they came over, and I mean, you were in the ball game until the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. And this year, they have a lot of those young men back, but they lost some key people as well. What are some of the things that John Tyler, obviously, with a winning record as they have, they do a lot of things well. But what are the things that your team's going to have to focus on to beat them?
I think the team speed, the overall speed of it, and I thought we did a good job of that last year, is kind of containing them, not giving up the big plays, and that's what you have to do. Then they're so athletic and they're so fast that you got to kind of keep them hemmed up, and you know, they're going to get their 4 and 5 yards, and you got to make them drive the football. So if we don't give up the big plays and when we can kind of make them drive the field, I think, you know, we can stay in the game. And
yeah, Gio McAllister's really matured as a quarterback for them, and he's the trigger man in that offense. And it's a spread offense, just like a lot of the teams run, and boy, they do it well.
They do, and you know, it's the same thing we went into last year. You know, last year we struggled all year long, and we played, you know, the big games we tended to play a little bit better. And we've done the same thing this year. You know, when Ennis came to town, when Nacogdoches came to town, now when John Tyler comes to town, we've played well in those big games that we had to win. So, and I don't expect anything less from our kids this week. I think our kids are going to be prepared and excited about playing John Tyler. It's kind of turned into another rivalry that we played in the last couple of years. So, and they also understand we haven't beat them ever, you know, and that's one of the things, one of our goals is, you know, for the first time Jacksonville ever beat John Tyler.
The mood of the team in practice this week, I know people down about last week's loss and of course losing another key player, Carter McCown, and Oscar may be out as well. Talk about your team's emotional, where they are now positionally on that.
You can tell they're a little disappointed. You know, they know it's going to be an uphill battle. You know, anytime you lose your 3-year starter at quarterback, it changes the dynamics of the offense and what you do and the explosiveness of it. But they're fine. I mean, we got so many young ones. I don't know if they really know how to be down right now. But you know, they're just playing. They just want to play football. Yeah. So. You can tell there's a different vibe out there, but you know, with Carter coming out there yesterday, he was coaching up our young quarterbacks. I mean, he was right in the middle of it. So, you know, you never know until you blow the whistle on Friday night and we step on the field.
Which begs the question: who is going to be the quarterback Friday night?
Don't know yet. It's kind of a day-to-day thing. We got Jacoby Robinson, the junior for us, has played quarterback through our systems, working at it, and Cameron High, who came in the other night and kind of finished the game. He's our young one, so. Yeah. You know, both of them did okay in practice yesterday, and we're just going to kind of keep feeling it out until, you know, one of them kind of takes over.
You know, it isn't just Carter out, Braylon's out, and Oscar may be out, but you got a lot of guys with dinged up, and that's what you'd expect. I mean, 16-5A is just absolutely brutal as far as physicality, and it's starting to show. Yeah,
and that's what we were afraid of. You know, we knew the first couple of games we could get through with our depth, and I mean, you're starting to see it now. I mean, we're 2 running backs down, we're a center down, we're a quarterback down. I mean, we just got some guys beat up. I mean, even Jamadri Taylor's out. He didn't play last week, so and I don't know. He's questionable to come back this week. So it takes its toll on you. But you know, it is what it is. And we got to get ready to go.
John Tyler defensively, what do they do well? Obviously, they're fast, but they've got a couple losses this year. They lost to Robert E. Lee and they lost to Ennis, and Ennis looks like they're going to win the district, and John Tyler's right behind them. So, but talk about what they do defensively well.
Well, a lot of those kids are back from last year. I think they lost to the Osborne kid that was a safety, and the thing that I've noticed that they do a really good job, and their defensive coordinator is a really, really good coach. They do a really good job of matching routes in the passing game. They're not going to chase you. They're going to play a lot of man coverage. They're going to play a lot of zone. The kids understand the zone coverage. They do a really good job of matching routes and coming off of 1-2s and switching stuff. So they do a good job in that. The ball's got to come out on time is basically what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, we can't sit back there and wait for the guy to be open to throw the football. We got to throw people open out of the breaks. And up front, basically the same D-line that we had some success against last year, running the ball in, pass protection. So, the big thing is size and speed. And they just have, what everybody else has in this district, which is size and speed, except for us. So, we have to kind of maneuver around that kind of stuff. But they're talented. I think everybody's beatable. I think if we play well and some things go our way, I think we can get in the game and fight for it. But we'll see. Defensively,
it's been hit or miss a lot of times this year. You've had some stops. You've had some great last week. I mean, you kind of stopped White House in a lot of ways, and then they kind of broke after Carter got hurt. Things kind of fell down after that, but. Man, you had some good stops in there, and they seemed to be bending but not breaking all the way. And then you had some blown coverages and stuff. And I know you can't do that against John Tyler.
No, you can't do that. And I think, if you watched the first half of the game in the White House last week, I mean, both sides played well. I mean, it looked like a football game. We didn't give it the big play. Sure, they made some, 10, 12-yard gains, but our kids rallied, made plays. Our linebackers played well, almost had a goal line stand. Yeah. Had to cause a couple turnovers, kept ourselves in the game. I think the second half is not very indicative of who we were, because I think the kids understood it was an uphill battle, and after our first couple of series with our young quarterback, they knew that it was going to be hard for us to scratch and claw and get some points on the board. And
you could just see the emotions just change, and I know it was a challenge for you and your staff to do it at the half and kind of put your hands out there and say, guys, here's where we are, here's what we got to do, and you got to overcome. And
you could see it. You could see it in their eyes, and halftime, we were still in it, and we, half our kids were ready to go, and half our kids were kind of sulking, and I think it was more offense and defense because they knew Carter was out, but. That's high school sport. That's teenagers. It's such a roller coaster of emotion in games like that, and we just saw it just kind of got to us in the second half. We couldn't get our defense off the field, and you're going to give up big plays when that happens, and they did. They hit us for a couple big plays in the second half. At the first half, there wasn't really any big. I mean, we hit them on a big play. We had an 80-yard throw and catch, and
John Tyler comes in, and they're flying high. They're playoff bound. Chance maybe they come in and overlook Jacksonville a little bit?
I don't think so. We've talked about this district since day one and how competitive it is, and the reason it is competitive is because each team in this district prepares to play Friday night. And I think they're like everybody else. I don't think they're as worried about us as they are about themselves. I think they're trying to get better too and get ready for a playoff run. And teams like that are in the top 10 that are traditionally ranked in the top 25. They don't look past teams. I mean, that's why they're there, because they don't make the mistakes of putting someone lower than the other.
Coach, let's talk about the keys to the game.
I think the big thing is us being able to maintain offensive drives. I mean, we're not going to be as much tempo, I don't think, just because they're so explosive. And I think we got to be able to keep the ball out of their hands a little bit. We won't be, huddling and going, 40-second clock. But, you won't see us doing a lot of our tempo. We'll pick and choose when we need it, when we get them on their heels. And, I say that, and heck, we might jump into it in the first quarter if we're having success.
You just got to see how it develops.
Yeah, I just think we got to keep the ball away from as much as we can, and we got to protect it when we have it.
Well, Jacksonville versus John Tyler at senior night, so all those activities will be occurring before the kickoff, so hope you can join us at Tomato Bowl for that. It'll be kickoff at 7:30. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock on KWRW. For head coach Chris Tabor, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.